We have in Chile, we have a very small market.
Yes.
So when somebody copies you a brand, it's not like maybe in the USA where everybody sells everything and I don't know. There is very small, so it gets you.
Hello and welcome to A Smaller Life, or welcome back. My name is Saskia de Feiter, and today we are talking to Pilar Letelier of Cabeza de Alfiler. I hope I pronounced that well. This means the pinhead in English. It's a beautiful needlecraft shop in Santiago de Chile, in Chile, and her shop is a house that she has painted pink, and her taste and style and branding are consistent throughout all of her communications. In the coming half hour, we will be discussing our brand, working from a vision in creating a collection of goods, and what it does to you when your ideas get stolen. We talk about the importance of communicating your vision to your team, delegating tasks to keep your health and sanity, and that joining a community of business peers is a great idea to get support and guidance because it can get very lonely, even if you have a team. It was lovely to have her here and showing her around my city, having lunch together, talking shop all day. It was amazing. And Pilar, if you're listening, I hope you will come back soon. Just a little disclaimer here. We recorded this interview in my workroom with quite a distance from the microphone. So the quality is a little less good as you might be used to. Hi, my name is Saskia. I've got over a decade of experience in running a small business in the needlecraft industry, selling, pattern and product design, teaching, and running a needlecraft school. As a small business owner, you're in charge of everything: branding, marketing, selling, promoting, and cleaning the loop. I'm educated in marketing and photography and learned to do everything else on the job. I'm obsessed with the healing magic of crafting and the power of community, and I'm determined to lift our scene up for the world to notice so they can step away from fast fashion. In A Smaller Life, we learn from experts in the needlecraft, textile, and creative industry, big names and small, about what it's actually like to run a small business. Emotional talks with sellers about wins and woes, product and design, conscious decision-making and branding, and communication. Why we do it, how we do it, and what we need to become the future of fashion without burning the hell out. A Smaller Life fights apathy in apparel and aims to inspire you to look at your wardrobe differently. Where do you buy? How do you use your clothes? And can you make some of it yourself? Dreaming big about a world where we rely on value-based businesses, the kindness economy, and where we can fully say, fuck fast fashion. A Smaller Life is Jawohl's completely free way for makers and sellers to learn how to be part of a healthier take on clothes and fashion. Jawohl offers an online community where they can connect and inspire each other, monthly topics with challenges for makers, and coaching and support for sellers. We will move the needle. For more information, go to ja-wol.com. Jawohl! I asked you what your biggest issue is in your business, and I remember you said two things. You said, for me, if people copy what I do, and you talked about organizing your business. And do you want to talk a little more about that?
Yeah. Well, as you said, it is hard for me when somebody copies what I'm doing. But I think I'm managing that every day a little more, and I can recognize the feelings that I have when that happens. So I feel them. I don't push them away. I try to feel them for a moment, and so it can I think that way it passes more easily than if I throw them away and they start like
piling up.
Right, that's right. And then it gets a point where I can manage that anymore and I explode. So now I'm trying to be more conscious about my feelings in every way. And when copy happens or other things like that, I try to do that. Like have the feeling and say, okay, this happens and let's move on. Let's do my thing and be my way because nobody can copy that. And
yeah. No, that's really true. It's something also I learned in the last couple of years, because I'm no stranger to this feeling. This happened a lot to me, and I think if you are one of the first that does something in your area or in your country, there are going to be people that like what you do. And if there's a lot of people that like what you do, there's going to be a person that thinks, I'm going to do that too. And if I'm honest, I think a lot of the time it's not even that they decide they want to copy you.
Yeah.
They just like your style and they adopt your style as if it was their own, and they just go with it. And this has been a really long discussion in art. And I think I even have a book I'm looking at, and the book is called Steal Like an Artist. And it talks about how nothing ever is truly original. Everything is always a version of something that already exists, and you make it your own version. But why do you think it is so hard? Why does it upset you?
I think mostly because it's a lot of work. And when somebody copies you, it's because it's something that it's already working. So they like this they skip that hard part you did and they start doing it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that gets me the most.
Yeah. And for me also it was that if I did that work and if I know that it's a success in the way that people like it, but I'm not necessarily making a lot of money from it yet, and then somebody else does the same, then it kind of, I get this feeling in my throat that, oh my gosh, and now they're going to make a big success out of it. And then I would say things to myself like, yes, and they have a whole team and they will make it work because they have more money. And it was just this downward spiral of negative feelings. And
yeah.
I think you're dealing with it very well, just to feel the feelings really specifically for a moment and really be in the moment and then go from there. I don't think I have it as much anymore, but especially when you do, like original things, like a specific workshop that hasn't been done yet, or a specific product that you're making. Like if somebody dyes yarn and another person dyes a similar color, that's a little bit of a grayer area when we talk about colors. But I did, what we did was, let me remember, I forgot the name. That's so bad. We did storytelling and knitting at the same time. So, it was translated kind of a literature night instead of Literary nights. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. It was literary nights. And then people started doing that. And after a while, I was able to think, well, we just set a trend. And if I do enough of this, if I do enough trend setting, then I will become known as the person that's always setting a trend. And then I'm an expert in that field. But then as a Dutch person, it can be really hard to really own that feeling, just to say,
I think it's much more engraved in American culture where you say, like, I'm the inventor of the Letelier knife, and I'm like, oh, we're just combining two things into one thing, and it's really fun. So what do you feel about, what kind of things are you thinking about when we're talking about copying?
Well, as you said with the book, because I think it's a thin line between inspiring and copy.
Yes.
So it's there when you, I don't know, there is like this limit, but it's not like a drawn limit.
No, it's not clear.
Yeah,
it's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also hard to walk up to somebody and say, hey, that's mine.
Yeah. And we are not developing so much new products as a brand. This year I would like to bring more potential to our brand, our name, and to develop maybe some products or own products. But we have in Chile, we have a very small market.
Yes.
So when somebody copies you a brand, it's not like maybe in the USA where everybody sells everything and I don't know. There is very small, so it gets you.
Hello, friends. I just want to say something to you quickly. So if you're liking the podcast, if you're liking what I'm talking about, consider joining the mailing list. I have bi-weekly updates on the podcast and or business insights and tips. The occasional exercise to get you ahead. If you want to actually talk to other business owners about the things that I talk about here on the podcast, why not become a Yavol community member for as little as €8.50 a month? That's like buying me coffee and a croissant. But don't do it for me though. Do it for yourself, because I promise that you will get something out of it, either the emails and or the community. So you can either go to the show notes or sign up through yavol.myflowdesk.com/patentshift. I hope you'll join us.
Yeah, and I think the perception of these things is also a thing, because we think, I think the same. America is so big, and it's not as big of a deal there because there's enough people there. But I think for any maker or business owner or product designer, if the thing is your own and if you're offering it to a niche business, then that niche feels small. And all business owners that try to work with a group of people that wants a specific thing, they really feel like they are the lead. They want to be the leader in that niche. So then it's still, if the market is big, it still feels very small. And it's still like, but this is my vicuña beaded, like I'm picking things out of my brain, beaded vicuña project bag. I don't know what that would look like. But I think it has a lot to do with one hand ego, also confidence, same thing basically. So if you're super confident, you're like, yeah, whatever. But also I think it has like a healthy bit to it because it makes you think, right?
Yeah. And the other thing about organization, well, as I was telling you, and maybe most of the people in this niche, it's really creative or like this, and we tend to be a little bit messy, and also I'm a dentist, so
I'm so surprised to hear that about you, to find out you're a dentist.
yeah. So I don't have the knowledge or to be like a commercial woman or to have people working with me and all and everything. So I've been studying to feel more confident and also to have the tools to do my job better.
Yeah, because you also don't have a business education. You have a different education, and again, also started from your passion for craft.
Yeah. We had like one course of business, but that was it. And then it was all teeth. Yeah. So that's what I've been trying to do, because I think I can work, as you said yesterday, I can work smarter.
Yeah.
If I can get really well organized.
Yeah.
Because since I have people working with me, they have and they help me, but I don't want to be like
down.
Yeah. So I was feeling that I'm being like that in the late years, that my business can grow, but I'm in the middle, and I don't get the things done, and I don't get the things keep moving. So I'm trying to now organize better and to be a team leader.
Yeah. You're shaking the champagne bottle so it can go pop and you can go fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that.
That image.
That image.
Yeah, I think organizing is a big thing, and it starts quite simply with decluttering, just having a clean and tidy workspace. And I know how that sounds, and if the young me would hear me say this, she would laugh so hard. But I mean, it's acquired knowledge. Over the years, I've learned that that really, really helps to run a good business. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like a creative person needs like creative energy around them or chaos or whatever. So if you are creating in that way, fine. But if you are organizing your business, that's just a different thing.
No, but at a certain point, that creative person will need this organization, because it can work. Yeah. I think it can't work if you do only the creative part and you don't get yourself into the
shit together.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. And it is not even that hard. It is learning about the right tools and how to use them, and then to implement them, and then to make new habits. Like it's an easy step to process to follow, but you have to decide, I want things to be different, because I think a lot of us, like people in our industry, we get to a certain point and we're just selling stuff, and it's going good, and we get a little bit of a name, and people know about us through social media or festivals or just coming to the shop, and you're chugging along nicely, and then at a certain point you're getting tired and you think like, okay, I need somebody to help me because I'm tired, but I need to pay them. So I need more income. And then there's this point where you're like, okay, I need to grow my business. I need to make more than I'm making right now, because otherwise nothing will change.
Yeah.
And in order for that to happen, it sounds silly, but to try to become more efficient first and use systems, that can give you a lot of time, and time can, if you have more time, then you can do the more important things that move your business forward. And from one thing comes another. It's a machine.
And you can get creative too.
Yes.
Because when you have everything in your shoulders, or on your shoulders, you get, your creativeness goes away. I don't know. And it's difficult to try to do new things. And so, and also, it's, what you're saying, like, it's a decision to change it, because I hear a lot of complaining from creative people that they don't sell, but they don't want to do it because there is a way.
Yeah.
But your mind will always put excuses.
Yes.
Because
I call them yes but people.
Yeah, because your mind is comfortable where she is or he is.
You know what the point is. But does your mind identify? I've never thought about it. I think it's a she.
Mine is a she.
Sometimes a little bit like manly. Like I can get into the let's solve this problem mode, which is more manly.
Yeah.
I'd rather go ahead and take action and solve it than talk it through like for 7 hours.
Yeah, but it was like when we were talking about balance the energies.
Yes.
Because everybody has masculine and feminine energy, and we need to balance that so we can feel more comfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I talked earlier about the yes but people, I need to find a better name, but it sounds weird. But what happens is you talk about, they say they're complaining about their business and that they want things differently. And then you say, have you tried this? Yeah, but have you tried this? Well, yeah, but... And then after a while you start realizing... you have to have a certain drive, a certain character, to be able to keep things going. Like the beginning is it's kind of the fun part, but to keep it going, that's where it gets really hard. And we also were talking earlier when we had a really good lunch, we talked about, what a good team looks like if you work with, a good second. You call it a second, or as I said, I think it's really helpful if you have like a creative leader and like a business leader. At the same time, personally, I like to work with myself at the moment, but I also like to work with people that I bring in when I need them. And I like a team. What do you want to share a little bit about your experience, what you have learned, or where you want to grow to? Anything specific?
I never felt like a leader, and I'm a really pleasant person, as you were saying you are too. So I never felt like I could have a team and to run myself a team. But it has been a really good experience, and I think I'm every day I'm still learning, but I'm growing so much as a person too, not only the business part. And it's really nice to build these relationships with the people and to learn from them, because we in the team we all have different skills and different things to so we can go we can be better, and we can learn from the other one, and I'm liking it very much. Yeah.
I think potentially, like, I'm just generalizing things here, I know that, but in general, a lot of the leaders or the business owners are female or female identifying, and it's always such an interesting place. I'm thinking about rebranding the podcast, and one of the titles I was thinking about was SEW, so as in sewing, and bossy, like so bossy, because the idea of a female.
Don't copy that.
No, don't copy it. Don't copy it. I haven't decided yet. That's true. It's mine. I haven't even looked it up. Maybe it's somebody else. Sorry if I stole it. No, I have another idea because it's too sewing and that's just too much sewing alone. But the idea of so bossy just really matches the idea of a woman that's leading a business that's kind of bitchy, like she's so bossy. But we kind of need to be bossy. But how do we need to be bossy? And if you're in like an office space, you were talking about in the beginning, you wore a suit to work because you're like, I'm going to be the boss of this business. But we're in such a different space in our industry. We are so close to the people we serve because we are also crafters that there's not much of a top-down situation there. And that makes it kind of hard to find your place as a leader, but also in your team and the people you work with. Like being perceived as bossy or being the boss is so close sometimes. I struggle with that. So
yeah. I think sometimes I struggle with that too. I think the key is to have very good communication and to say the things you need to say at the right time and with the right words.
Yeah. I'm just going to walk around with my ChatGPT with tell my employee that in a nice and friendly manner. Yeah, it's
but you can be friendly and nice, but sometimes you need to be not sorry, I forgot the word. You need to say the things how they are and not offending anybody or being disrespectful.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need to be direct.
And do you think you will? As I think this is interesting because a lot of us start out as just solopreneurs, and then along the way somebody comes into our shops or our studios, helps us out. Somebody does the numbers and the bookkeeping, and it grows a little by little. And I would love that if I could really truly feel that if you feel like, but I'm just being clear and I'm communicating what's necessary. So I know that I have done a good job communicating, and now I'm going to leave it with the other person because I did my job well. But I also always have this idea in my head when there's the boss and everybody else is in the lunchroom like complaining about the boss.
Yeah. I saw the other day I saw Friends. Yeah. And there is one chapter where Letelier gets Phoebe to work with him as a secretary, and she says like, nobody likes you. He's like, what?
I think I wouldn't want to know.
Yeah,
but eventually there's going to be a distance, and I think this is what I'm trying to get to, because we're so close as crafters ourselves. You want to be the same, but you're not, because you are the leader of the team. You're managing. You have to make decisions. You are paying the bills. Like, it's a different position. Yeah. And sometimes I think it can be really hard if you're working with people that you already knew from. Sometimes they're even customers, and sometimes you meet them at a fair, or they they come to you through somebody else. It's all very close to, there's not much of a distance. So do you use a certain way of talking? Do you talk to yourself and say, look, I'm not their friend, I'm their boss? Or is it completely natural to you?
I worked with a friend I told you about her.
Mm-hmm.
She's a journalist, and she was without any job, and it came the pandemic, so she's starting like helping me, and then I at the moment I said like, I know I hired you, I need you.
Yeah.
And she helped me a lot, and she was my friend previously.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, sometimes it's difficult,
yeah,
because you have that relationship and you have to be the boss too. But I know I think you can be both. You can be both.
Yeah.
At sometimes you will be more the boss, and sometimes you will be the friend.
Yeah.
And she got another job on January. And we ended up the relationship really well. The relationship didn't ended up. Business relationship. We still being friends. She's still needing lessons at the shop, and at first when she told me she was leaving, I was really sad and a little, maybe not annoyed, but it, because it moves you that you will need another person and everything. But then I was like, she's getting this job because she wanted something that challenged her most in her career and everything. And I was proud of her that she took that step, because she was fine at the shop. She told me that, and she could keep on this safe place where she felt well. But she wanted this step. So I was fine with it, because she's my friend, and I was happy for her.
Yeah. So as a friend, you had enough space for her to support her in her choice, and as her boss to be like, okay, find somebody else. I feel a little bit of a nervous twitch, but it'll go. Yeah, that makes sense. Hi, just a small message. Can you believe that this is the 60th episode? 60 episodes. It's just no words. I had never thought I loved making podcasts as much as I do. Initially, this started as, and still is, a way for me to reach a wider audience, because I am not on social media, which is very typical, I think. But yeah, that's just me. So I'm trying to find more people that feel like me, want to do the things that I do, and want to be part of the solution and not the problem. So to keep this short, what's happening next is, after the 60th episode, I thought it was a good timing to kind of professionalize the podcast, to evaluate, look at it, see what we can make better. And I kind of need your help for that. So I've set up this small questionnaire that has just a few questions, so I can get better insights in how you are liking what I'm doing here. If you want to help me, please fill out the form. It takes about 5 minutes. It's at asmallerlife.com, A Smaller Life podcast, and then it's right up there on the top screen. Thank you so much for doing it. I'm sending out little gifts to every 10th person that fills out the form. So thanks a lot for that. And another bit of news is the next episode will be me and our returning friend Zoe from Check Your Thread. She was visiting my house and we had a conversation about our podcasts and what we want to do and how we want to proceed in the future. So you'll get a little bit of an insight in what's going to happen next for a smaller life. Or maybe not a smaller life. Let's see. Because I'm thinking back to the first topic we talked about copying. And there was a layer I wanted to ask something about. And we were talking about somebody using your ideas, and it means that you're a trendsetter, and people say you should see that as a compliment. I think in the end, the solution to that is to try to really own it and to maybe even use it in your marketing and in your branding. And when something like that happens, let's say you have, I don't know, discovered a small new brand and you started selling that brand like a few months ago, and you've talked about it and you kind of helped to grow the brand in your area. And then another place in the same city start selling the same small brand. Like, I see your face. We haven't even talked about this, but this happens a lot. And you're like, shit.
Yeah, totally.
This really sucks. So what you could do is then at the moment that you realize it, send out a newsletter and really have a lot of attention for that brand and go deeper into it, tell a story about it, have it on your socials, and really set yourself strongly in the place of I'm connected to this brand.
Yeah.
And that can help with your nervousness around it too, I think.
Totally. I think it's a very clever way to do it because, like I was here first, so
yeah. But then in the most positive way. It was, of course, not even mention the other one.
No.
And then you call your journalist friend who's not working with you anymore, and then you say, listen, this happened and it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need to, and this is the thing with, if you're like the solitary leader, sometimes it's really frustrating that you are the only one. And now we circle back to what we were talking about. It can get quite lonely, because you are the only one that can make decisions on that level. But I used to share a lot of my ideas with the people in my team. And I think I wasn't always clear in a way that I was just trying things out and talking to them. But I always missed like a group of people that were like me that I could really talk to. Oh, and now I'm back to what I wanted to ask. Okay, so this is like circling round to back to the beginning again. So if you really sometimes want to talk to somebody that's like you, but that's not like near in your area, right? So you wanna really talk things through, like go deeper. At the same time, what happens, and what I've heard business owners say over and over, for a fear of people stealing your ideas, they don't want to talk to other business owners because they're afraid that they will take their ideas. And this is what I hear so much. Well, not so much, but I've over the years, the fear of being copied in a place that's so creative and so much about identity is real. And the kind of craving for hanging out with peers, you kind of walk away from that because you're like, oh, I'm not sure. I don't want to really share all of my things. Like, I want to keep it to myself. And to talk to that from my experience with my business circle and the people that are in there, they are now like friends. They talk to each other a lot. And if anything, they share so much, but they grow together. Like in English, there's a saying, something with a ship, like small ripples make a big wave, but also together you build a ship, blah, 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 blah. I'll edit it in later.
That saying would be, a rising tide lifts all ships.
It's really good. It's just basically together we can look at each other as competition, but we can also look at each other, if we're all healthy businesses, the industry will become more healthy. And if we have a healthy industry, that's good for all of us. Like, it sounds like a stretch, but that I think that's true.
Yeah, I think it's the ideal,
Yeah.
but I don't know. There is people and people.
Yeah.
And I hope we have every day we have more, like, I don't know if it's ethical, but more conscious business owners that can do this.
Yeah.
And they are not like it's all competition and getting money and thinking that if somebody buys from you, I'm losing money or something like that, because it's not.
No, and together you, by hearing other people talk, you find your own unique voice even more. So it's more clear to you that how are you different from the others, and then making that your specific thing actually moves you in the other direction. It's the complete different effect. And what has happened with the people in the business group is that they get ideas off of each other. So that doesn't mean that they take ideas. While they talk, they get ideas, which is different.
Yeah.
And they all have their own unique identity, and things that get shared are more about smart ways to do things, tools you can use, like wholesalers, or even talking about pricing and how do you price things and how do you price things. And we should really be able to ask higher prices, and then together as a group slowly deciding we're going to do this. We need to make our prices a little higher because we don't have enough margin. And then because you're in a group, you feel more confident to take that step, because on your own as a business owner, you're like, oh, I don't know if I should raise my prices because. So yeah, there's different ways. And there's different people. I mean, I think you can smell it if somebody's in a group and they're there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. But it's nice to have, like you say, like somebody who is who also is the owner, so you can talk to them, because I talked a lot with my team, and when I'm thinking new things or new brands, or I ask their opinion. But as you say, it's different when it's a business owner or is somebody that works there.
Yeah, because they're probably, I mean, this may sound disrespectful, but if you ask, should I get this brand? And they're just, I love the colors, take the brand. And they don't even think about the price, the cost, all of that. So it's definitely different. And sometimes you forget that it's a very different position to be in a shop selling yarns or in a studio helping to dye yarns than being behind the computer and looking at the spreadsheets and different position. Would you want to sometimes not be the boss?
I like being the boss, but no, I think not.
Yeah.
No, I like it. Yeah.
So what makes you think what's good about being the boss? The boss bitch. So bossy.
No, but I like having my own business. What I like about being the boss, mostly I like having my own schedule, because we have a physical shop, so not everybody gets the chance to manage their time like I do. That doesn't mean that I work less, because sometimes I work at weekends and late nights, or mostly late nights than early in the morning, because I'm a night owl. But I like that because I have 3 kids. They are young. I have a little one who's only 1, so I like to manage my time. Like, I can be with them too at the afternoons and when they get from school, and mostly that.
Yeah.
I can be here now. Too.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I like being my own boss too. For a short while, I was working for a boss again. And the biggest thing I've learned is that I can work on my own tempo. And usually that means slower than what's asked, but for me it means faster. I need to be doing and going and work fast. And as a business owner or a leader, or sometimes you're a visionary, you have an idea that you want to go towards.
Yeah.
And I could not. I think it would be super hard for me to build on somebody else's vision. Like, I wake up every morning with a drive to take the next step and come closer to the vision and work on my mission. And that's also sometimes so frustrating, that feeling. You want your employees to have that same burning feeling and mission. So I think when you're creating a team, that has to be part of, and even if that's just making money, that has to be part of their, what they want to do as well. So if they come work for you and they're like, I just love making money, that's great. Yeah. Start doing it. Start yesterday.
Yeah.
Or if they just want to be part of your value system as well. And sometimes if that gap is too wide, then the team is not solid. I think it's a really important.
Yeah, but I think it's also our job to show them what is our vision, what we would like with our business, and to have maybe conversation, and maybe they can bring their own vision to the business too, and we can. Nothing is like written in
stone.
Yeah, in stone, and or somebody maybe says like, no, I don't want this for me, and she or he can leave, and it's okay. And I don't know, and also maybe you want that vision today, but in 5-10 years it changes. Yeah, so I think it's good to have a vision, because you have something
that drives you.
And you can do things and plan your year or your semester, your goals towards that. But it can change.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it should be part of the work as when you work with a team.
Yeah.
To communicate about it, about your mission, your vision, and your mission, and how you will achieve what specific goals. And I know how businessy that sounds, a lot of crafty business owners are really allergic to all the business lingo, but that is
Part of the job.
part of the deal. Like
Yeah.
otherwise, you sit at home on the couch and you knit or spin or dye yarn. That's the difference. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to run a business, then there's this whole. I mean, for me, that's super fun.
For
it's
me
like,
too.
I see it like a workbook, and it's literally in the business circle. It is a workbook, like just taking it one step at a time. So, just really making it into really small steps and really easy to digest. And it's really fun to figure out who you are as a person, as a business. What clients do you want to reach?
Yeah.
And what products do your clients need? Or what do you want to offer them? What's the story you want to tell them? It's so fun to do. And yeah, I think you have to have a love and a drive. And I mean, the drive doesn't have to be save the world. It could be, I just want to make a lot of money. I'm not judging. I would love both.
Yeah.
And I would love a lot of money so I can help make the world a better place. So yeah, all of those things. But yeah, I think you should really take that seriously and talk to your people, and like they really have an idea of what it is that they are doing there. Like they're not just selling yarn, cutting fabric, teaching a craft. They're there for a bigger purpose.
Yeah. And as you're saying, it doesn't have to be saving the world like a superhero, because we have normal lives and we need money.
Yeah.
And of course, I think for most of us, it's not the primary thing that moves us, but it's an important part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it's good to have that communication with the team and to let them know what it's the purpose, the vision, and where we are going to.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and also because as you leader, you have the biggest look of the business, and sometimes you have to save time to do the things that will get you there.
Yes.
And you need to delegate. I don't. That's a word.
I think so. Delegate. Yeah.
Delegate. Yeah. To delegate your daily work to another person, so you can do the other things that will let you there.
Yeah.
And it's good also that they know that it's not like I'm doing your job.
Yeah.
No, it's you're doing another thing that will let
it's
you
all parts of the machine.
Yeah.
Cogs in the wheel. I think that's I should really take a course on English sayings so I can use them. I can make me look really knowledgeable and smart. Because now I just say things like, "It's really like a cow in the field, isn't it?" I'm so professional. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's amazing to have you here. Like we didn't even like set the scene here, but we'll take a picture and I'll put it in the show notes. But we are sitting on the what is called a day bed, which is basically a couch, but you take away cushions and then it's a bed. And Pili has slept on this bed. And to the right of me is my desk. This is where I work. So I had a guest in my workspace, and it was really fun to have you here.
Yeah, it was really, really nice for you to receive me here.
Of course. Yeah.
We have only known each other from Zoom or...
Yeah, but I think we had a really natural click right from the start.
And I want to say it because you really, really helped me when I was starting. So I'm really grateful with you.
Aww.
Because you were like my big sister.
Aww.
You were like teaching me everything. So if I'm here now, some part is because of you. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
I took away so much from this conversation, and one of the things is that it's not all that different to run a needlecraft shop in Chile compared to Rotterdam. We run into the same insecurities, we share the same frustrations, and we need to fight the same battles. To connect to our peers in a group or a community online is one of the best ways to get support and guidance on these things. And as you've heard, you don't have to share your ideas there. And you definitely do not have to be scared that they'll get stolen if you connect to other business owners. Running a small business from the heart and aligning your mission to your personal values makes it a very personal endeavor, and therefore you can get hurt. Delegating tasks is a way to take care of yourself and get your team, if you have one, to build on a clear vision. If you take away just one thing, let it be this: take care of yourself, your business, and your products, and connect to your peers. Bye!